Good day, grade 12. I'm Maggie Ngwatu, SCS from Tshwane West District, Gauteng Province. We are again in tourism. We are going to do world icon as a continuation of term 2, week 1 in our work schedule. You remember let us do recap. You remember when I started with these icons? We had what we must do at the end of this lesson. We are going to study again 41 icons under the following heading now. The location on a world map, the country, the city or a town or an area in which this icon is located. I'm still recapping on our first lesson, the reason why it is an icon. And also today, I'm going to do brief descriptions of the icons. Also, we are going to do pictures of those icons that you must be able to recognize when you write your examination. Remember, we are still having 41 icons. Please, grade 12, when you study these icons, do not spot, because you'll never know what an examiner is going to ask. There are so many of them, and so many of them can be asked in your paper. We are going to do examples of icons, and then we are going to do characteristics of those icons that I'm going to do today. We can do through slides. I'm going to give you some slides, and then I'm going to flip them through the flashes, and then you give me the country and the locations and also the details on those icons that I'm going to show you. Let us look into this one. Remember, I said these icons, they are from all over the world. In each of them, we've got continents. Now we are in Africa. We've got the Great Pyramids of Giza. Where is the location of this Great Wall of Pyramids? They are located in the city that is called the Giza. And then it is 25 kilometers away from Cairo. Remember, we were talking about the location specifically of these icons. When you are needed to give specific location, that is why it is called the Great Pyramids of Giza, is where they are situated. And then this icon, because remember I said, when you do icons, it must be of world known. Just look at the number of tourists who are visiting this icon. They say 4 million per year. They are interested, they are curious, they want to see the icon. And then again, the description. You remember we were talking about what type of tourist that must visit this icon. Just check. We've got cultural tourists. We've got historical tourists, and also those tourists that are called the architecture. Some, they are leisure tourists. Those are types of tourists that are interested in visiting the icon. Why we are talking about the cultural tourists? These tourists, they are interested in learning how it is related to the people who are staying in the area. We are talking about the structure. We've got people who are interested to know how these pyramids are built. We call them the architects. And then we've got this one, the leisure ones. We are just go there just to wind our curiosity in a form of being there for leisure purposes. And then remember we were saying these icons, they must be identified. Hence, I have the World Heritage Sites. And then remember, who is identifying them? In our first lesson, we talked about UNESCO. And then remember we were talking about you must know the characteristic of every icon. That is why I have why it is an icon. It has some extraordinary funerary monuments. It is the only surviving wonders of the ancient world. It is one of the man's greatest architectural accomplishment. It means, as long as if you see this extraordinary wonders of the ancient world, man's greatest architectural, it means it is a type of a man-made icon. So that is why UNESCO made sure that it is part of its belongings because it has got a significant, it was made due to its uniqueness. Remember, in our first lesson, we said an icon, it must be unique. It must not be the same as the one that is found in another area. So these are the things that makes the Great Pyramid of Giza to be one of our icons. We are still in Africa. We've got the Sphinx. You see, in Africa, we've got the Great Pyramids of Giza, we've got the Sphinx. And then when you check the Sphinx, they say it is a statue of mythical creature. Remember we were talking about it must be of a symbolic to a certain race. Like now, the Sphinx, they are from Giza too. But what it represents, it says it's a mythical creature that has the body of a lion and the face of a man. In an examination, they will ask you the characteristics or the architectural structure of an icon. This is how you can define or outline the pyramids of Giza. You are allowed to say it is a mythical creature. To us, far away from Giza, we won't know how it symbolizes. But to the people of Giza, it is a mythical creature to them that symbolizes the body. And then also the structure or the characteristics or the background of why they make this structure was built by Pharaoh Khufu to guard his tomb and protect the treasure. You see the symbolic of the Sphinx towards these people. Remember we were saying it must be related to the community or the people in which this structure it is located. And then it was covered with sand for many years. Remember we were saying icons are of many years. So this one, they say for many years it was covered by sand. Damage over the years due to storms and sand and also vandalism. Remember we were saying an icon is able to withstand destruction. This is one of the icons that sustained the destruction, the damage, and also vandalism by us tourists. So where is it located? Remember we were saying you must know the location, you must know the country. So this one also, the Sphinx, is located in front of the pyramid. In Egypt, we've got the pyramids of Giza, we've got the Sphinx. So this one is located in front of the pyramids, 25 kilometers from Cairo. You know what is Cairo, grade 10, grade 11. Cairo, the capital city. And then, you remember we were talking about the statistics that UNESCO must record and list them in their books. 4 million per year. You can imagine how many are they. 4 million per year tourists are interested in this icon. And then who are these tourists who are visiting this icon? We've got culture, we've got history, and then also you can see the pyramid of Giza together with the Sphinx. They are close to one another. Check also the tourists. They are more or less the same tourists that are visiting the Sphinx. It means when you are doing packages to your tourists, if ever you are a top operator, you can couple the Sphinx together with the pyramids because they are having more or less characteristics. So these types of tourists, they will be able to get what they are interested in when they visit these two icons. Why it is an icon? It says it is one of the oldest and the largest known statues in the world. Hence, it is an icon. It has got its own unique characteristic. It is one of the oldest and the largest known stone statue in the world. It's a statue. What does it tell you? Is it a man-made or is it a natural one? Grade 12, you remember our first lesson, we had some exercises whereby you are able to identify whether it's an icon or is it an attraction. So check. Let me go to another one. Let's visit Australia. We've got only 2 icons in this country, like in Africa. When you again study your icons, categorize them according how many are in each country or in each continent. You will be able to learn them from the simplest to the complex. We've got Australia. We've got this icon. We call it the Ayers Rock. And then another name for that Ayers Rock, we've got the Uluru Katakucha, a national park. National park. What does it tell you? And then where is it located? It's located in Australia. Just check in your map where is Australia in your map. Remember, when you use your map, make sure that every time you separate your maps according to their hemispheres. You will be able to know the ones that are on the left-hand side, the one on the right-hand side. You will be able to know where Australia is. Grade 12, learn your maps so that you don't confuse yourself in an examination. And then also, it is in the northern territory of the Central Australia. Check your map. Again, we have another one, the Sydney Opera House. This Sydney Opera House, where is the location in Australia? It is in Sydney. We've got 2. The Uluru Katakucha. We've got Sydney Opera House. They are both in Australia, but they are in different locations. That one, it is found in the wilderness, the Uluru. And then this one, it is an opera house, which is called Sydney. Remember I was saying in our lesson 1, we said all the icons, you must name them according to their names that are listed in the records of UNESCO. Let me say, you want to know the entire facts about these 2 of them. Remember, we are doing Australia. Remember, Australia, they've got 2. That one and the Sydney Opera House. Let us recap what we have learned about these 2 icons. check the Sydney Opera House, how it is built. Please check, and you tell me how can you explain this type of a building. Some they say they are made of pages, like roofs. Some they may say they are like sheep. This is how you must identify the Sydney Opera House, the way it is built. Looking at this, do you see a man-made or do you see a natural one? This is how it was listed according to how it is built. Why it is an icon, a symbol of Sydney, has a unique structural engineering, building technology, and artistic architecture. This is how it is different. This is how it is one in a million. The way it is built. Check the way it is built. And then I check where it is located. Remember the previous slide, I said it is in Australia. There is no any other Sydney Opera House in the world except the one that is in Australia. I believe with the structure, you will be able to identify it in your paper. Because of its structure, check, there is no other building that you can see with the flap-like roof, unless it is our own Sydney Opera House. It is unique from any other opera houses that are found across the world. We have the Ayers Rock, and then another way, another name, we call it Uluru Katakucha National Park. Why it is an icon? For both natural and the largest sandstone monophilic and cultural value. It's a sacred for the Aborigines. Remember I was talking about some of the icons, they have got this cultural attachment to other race. Like now, this Uluru, to me, or to any other tourist who is not interested in visiting this, we can just take it as a stone. But to this nation, or to this nation, to these people, the Aborigine, it has got a symbolic thing. It's a sacred place for them. It has got a cultural value. And then, what do they do with this stone that is found in nature? Their rock paintings covers the walls of many caves. This is how UNESCO identified this rock amongst other rocks in the world to be an icon, because they are rocks painting. Whose rocks painting? The people of the Aborigines. It has got a symbolic attachment to them. People, the people of this, their rock paintings covered the walls of many caves. So it means when you are interested in learning the culture, the value of this race, you go to this site and then you learn more. And then what do people do when they go there? They try to destroy this because of they are interested in knowing this. But to the people of this area, it becomes something that you destroy their, where they come from. This is how the Aborigines relate to this Ayers Rock. It is found in Australia only. You cannot have an Ayers Rock in any country except the one that is in Australia. And then also UNESCO makes possible to protect this IS rock from us tourists who wants to destroy or who wants to overdo our visit to this, to protect the race, to protect these people of the Aborigines. Now we go to United States. It's another continent with its own unique structures called icons. We have the Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls, where is it located? The Niagara Falls is located between the two, Canada and United States. Niagara borders between Canada and USA. We have the Niagara Falls. It's a nice place to go and visit. Why it is an icon? Why specifically the Niagara Falls? Because we've got so many Niagara Falls in the world. But this one is very, very unique, the Niagara Falls. We've got so many falls. Why it is an icon is one of the most spectacular waterfalls in the world. You see them on TV, you see them on pictures. It's a dying place to be visited if one wants. It's one of the most spectacular waterfalls in the world. Hence, we are identifying it as a world icon through UNESCO. Check where it is located. It says it borders between Canada and USA. We have New York. Where is New York situated? In one of our continents. What do we get in New York? We've got the Statue of Liberty. Remember in our first lessons, I shown you many, many icons. Now we are doing the characteristics, why it was identified as an icon. It displays freedom according to the people of New York. Freedom. Remember we were saying it must attach to a country. And then this icon, it says it has got feet, the broken bands of cruelty. It has got history behind it. The left hand declares independence. When you see the entire statue, like this one, this is the entire full statue. It has got the left hand, it says it declares independence. You see, everyone who declares independence, most they raised their left hands. And then it has got the crown. Check the crown. 7 rays beaming freedom over 7 seas and 7 continents. When you see this statue, it has got this strong background and characteristic that the people of this country is attached to them. This is why it was identified as an icon. Why it is an icon? A symbol of freedom and democracy. Most famous statue in the world. When you as a person, when you as a tourist, when you as people of this country, when you look up to this statue, you see freedom and democracy. This is how it was declared as an icon by UNESCO. This is the characteristic of our icon, the Statue of Liberty. Grade 12, do not study everything that you see I was trying to show you how it was built. All you need to know is the structure and then also the characteristic, its unique characteristic from other icons and the location and the country. Not in a question paper you will see this. Please do not study them. Only the icon itself, why it is an icon, where it is situated in that country. We have this one, the Grand Canyons, where it's situated in Arizona, where in Arizona, USA. Why it is an icon? They say it is the largest canyon in the world. We've got so many canyons around the world, but this one is the largest one. And then again, it's a spectacular view, has spectacular views and landscape. Best example of erosion in the world. In other books, they will talk about it has got this color that is shown according to the time during the day. Most of the time, it shows the red colors. This is how some people, they see this icon, the Grand Canyons. Check the structure. Was it built or is it natural? This is how you must know whether it is natural or it is a man-made. Check the canyons. Canyons, you associate them with nature. So it shows you how soil erosion can do to some part of the world. Hence, it created this wonder, the Grand Canyon, which is in Arizona, USA. This is how the Grand Canyons look like. And then remember, when you visit icons, there can be activities that a tourist can engage into. Just check. This is an activity, again, that you can do when you visit the Grand Canyons. It is called the SKYWALK. Tourists, they can view the entire area using this bridge, the Grand Canyon, Arizona SKYWALK. And then we've got this ones, check. This is a river. This is another activity that when you visit this icon, you can engage yourself in, canoeing in a river. Very nice. Just check that view when you use the SKYWALK, what do you see? When you visit an icon as a tourist, most of them, they want to engage in some activity. These are examples of activities that you can when you visit this icon, the Grand Canyon. Check your textbooks. There are many activities because in an examination, an examiner may ask what type of an activity can be engaged into when you visit a type of an icon. Remember, also don't forget the tourists that will be visiting. Some they cannot just visit and just stand in here. They need some activities to involve themselves in. These are examples. There are many in your textbooks, but do not match irrelevant activity to an icon. Every icon has got its own activity. These are examples of the one that is in the Grand Canyon. Let's visit Mexico. We've got the Chichen Itza, Merinda. Where is it? The location. This is the country. Also, it's a location where it is found. Check the structure. We did plus minus 5 of them. Everyone has got its own uniqueness from the other. This one, how is it declared? Let us see the characteristic. It is the ruined remains of a large ancient Mayan city. Again, we've got a race in here. These are the people who have got the link to our structure. And then also it says it's one of the best preserved sites of this civilization. Go and check what is civilization according to your textbook. It has a stone, temples, and a pyramid. But not the pyramids that we're talking about of Giza. These are the other pyramids. Remember, a pyramid is a shape. It was a trading center and gives insight into the lives of the Mayan civilization. You can see how it is attached to these people. It was a trading center. It means they went to this icon to go and sell what they have. And it gives insight into the lives of the Mayan civilization. It means when you visit this icon, you are able to know how these people lived. Part of the rest of is covered by dense forest. This is how it is different from other icons. And then check the stats, 1.4 million visitors. And then what type of tourists visit? Cultural and leisure. The word cultural just match with this, the Mayans. It talks about the people. This is why it was identified. Most of the remaining of buildings are ruins, many architectural style, and give information about the Maya culture, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Remember, we've got the 7 wonders of the world, we've got icons. And not all the icons can be 7 wonders of the world. Remember, some of them we voted for them. You know, the last one that entered our list of the 7 wonders. So this one also, it competed against others to be recorded as the 7 wonders of the world. And then also remember, it is of UNESCO property. It means UNESCO is responsible for not destroying this site by us tourists. The statue of Christ the Redeemer, where is it found? The location. It is in Brazil. And then this statue of Christ the Redeemer, when you study icons, please grade 12, please concentrate on the one that is shown to you. Do not concentrate on this because this is the position in which this structure was erected. I know our CAPS document says statue of Christ the Redeemer or the Corcovado Mountain, but what we need from you is the statue of Christ the Redeemer. Why it is an icon? Also, it is part of the cultural landscape of Rio de Janeiro. The location, Rio de Janeiro, one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Please, when I relate to each of them, check which one is the 7 wonders of the world, check which one is not. But when we talk about an icon, we are not talking about the 7 wonders of the world. We are talking about specifically an icon. Check why it was an icon. It's a symbol of Christianity. It's a simple one. It talks about the statue of Christ the Redeemer. From the word Redeemer, the Christians, and appears to be a blessing to the city. So this one, it was made purposefully on top of the mountain so that it overlooks Rio de Janeiro. It says it appears to be a blessing to the city, to the people of the Brazil, to the people where it is situated. It's a blessing to them because of the hands. We've got this one, the Machu Picchu. Where is it found? It is found in Peru. And then why it is an icon? It is one of the most important and mysterious. The word mysterious, what does it tell you? Actually, archaeological site in the world. What type of tourists visit? Check archaeological sites. Those who are interested in digging what is inside this. At the end, they are able to know Machu Picchu. It is our World Heritage Site. Also, it is related again to a certain race. Check Peru. It is where it is situated. We have United Kingdom. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got the Tower of London. Check the structure. The Tower of London. We've got the Tower Bridge. Grade 12. Do not confuse the Tower of London with the Tower Bridge. They are totally different structures. We have the Big Ben. And then we have the Buckingham Palace. All of them, they are located in London. We've got 4 of them. Please make sure that you learn them individually. We will talk about the Tower of London. We'll talk about the Tower Bridge. We'll talk about the Big Ben and the Buckingham Palace. Why they are icons. The Buckingham Palace and the Big Ben. Why they are icons. Grade 12. It is official residence of the Queen and serve her home and the office. Why is an icon? It is a world symbol of London and the world's largest 4-phase chiming clock. We are talking about the Big Ben. When we talk about the Big Ben, we are talking specifically of that clock in this building. The Big Ben. We will talk about the history behind the Big Ben. We'll talk about the history behind the Buckingham Palace. You see, there are activities here. You see, they shows us how it is decorated inside. And then you see the outside of this palace. This is how it is different from any other building to the people of London. The Tower of London. Remember I said the differentiate between the Tower of London and the Tower Bridge. Why this Tower of London is a house, the United Kingdom crown jewelry, over 700 years. Remember we said, and icons, most of them, they are of many years. Imagine housing the jewel crown for so many years. And then also it is an ancient fortress palace. Grade 12, visit your textbook and then understand when we talk about a fortress, a palace complex where the queens are residing. This is an example, or this is what we called the crown jewelry that is in here. These are the things that are inside the Tower of London. People, when they visit, they want to see this crown. they want to see everything that is of so to the Queen, to the United Kingdom people. Aha, the Tower Bridge. Remember I said the tower, we had the Tower Bridge. This is our Tower Bridge. Why it is an icon? It is a symbol of London and one of the well-known landmarks still operating today. You see in the most adverts, you will see it says by time it opens for the ferries to pass by, and then it closes again to make a bridge. This is the nicest thing about this London Bridge, Tower Bridge, that makes it to be identified as an icon. You see, when it closes, people are passing by. Let's visit Spain. What do we have? The Leaning Tower. Where is this Leaning Tower? It is in Pisa or Florence. That is why it is called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Check the structure. Not in the world you will see a building that is leaning. It seems like it wants to fall. So the falling part of it is the one that made it to be a unique to the world. According to some of the books, it says the foundation, it was the one that made it to be like this, but it sustained many years, not falling. And then we have Venice. Also, it is from Venice. And then we have the Colosseum. The Colosseum, it is in Rome. And then we have the Vatican City. Also, it is found in Vatican City as a small kingdom. So these are the icons that are in Italy, in Europe. And then we have the Colosseum again. Remember I said we have the Colosseum. Colosseum, why it is an icon? It is one of the most famous pieces of architecture in the world. The remains of the Roman period where gladiators battled. This is a massive stadium. It takes plus minus 500,000 spectators. So this is where people went to go and see fights and battles. People were killed in here. This is how it was identified, because no in the world a stadium or a theater can carry such a big number of spectators. And also the structure. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, icon due to its beauty and the fact that it is tilted, leaning. A freestanding bell tower of the grand church. They say the tower started leaning after the third story was built due to unstable soil and a weak foundation. Remember I said that? And it is an 8-story tower with 293 steps. The 7 bells are no longer rung. It was renovated and are open to public now. Remember, UNESCO must continuously maintain the structure so that it is open to public. So this is our Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pisa is where it is situated. That is why it is called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And then we have this beautiful thing. Why it is an icon. Remember we were talking about the Venice? It is a unique locations, canals, etc. and art. It's where you are able to view the entire city using the canals from place to place. As a means of transport, they are using the boats. It's in Venice and in Italy. And then we've got the Vatican City. Check 5 million per year people who are visiting. The type of a tourist, religious, cultural tourist, and these ones. And then they say world's smallest independent state, a country within a city, the world of the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope. That is why it is the religious part of it. And then it's just only in the center of the Roman Catholic Church where the Pope is. It is important to the Roman Catholics. And then we've got the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall is an icon which is located in Germany, Berlin. And then also we have the Black Forest, which is also located in Germany, in the region borders France. Check your map where it is located. There's the two of them, the Berlin Wall together with the Black Forest. With your textbook, grade 12, check the history behind the Berlin Wall, especially tourists that are historical tourists. They love visiting this. It was built in 1961, not long though. And then they say it was built to separate the West and the Eastern Berlin in East Germany. And then it was a symbol of division between democracy, communism during the Cold War. This is the history behind the Berlin Wall. And then the Black Forest, where in the country is the Black Forest? In Freiburg. A beautiful scenery that consists of mountains of pine and fir trees, valleys, lakes, mineral, spring, and precocious villages. It's a black forest. Why it is called the Black Forest? Check your textbook, grade learner. It is not a black forest in the form of the black color, but it's because of the trees that are woven together to form the dark thing that is called, that makes them to be called a black forest. And then also check the tourists, 28 million overnight state visitors in hotel and guest house. It means many tourists, they love to go and see the Black Forest. And then when you do the Black Forest, remember, you can relate it to the cookie clock. It is found in Germany. Check the Germany in our map. We've got also the Auschwitz. It is also found in Poland. This is our Auschwitz. Why an icon? Was Nazi Germany's largest concentration camp, a symbol of Holocaust. Check also the Nazi. It's related to human race. We've got this dark tourism. Go and check the history behind the Auschwitz with the dark tourism. The killing and everything happened there. The Parthenon. The Parthenon, it is located in Greece, in Athens. Check the structure, how it is built. It's an ancient structure too. The remains of the 2,500-year-old remain temple of the Acropolis Hill overlooking the Athens. This is the background, this is the history behind the Parthenon, the most famous surviving building of the ancient Greece. It has got so many years withstanding the destruction and weather and everything. This is our map. Also, we have the Eiffel Tower. Location, it is located in France. Where in France? In Paris. And then this one, the Eiffel Tower. It is a massive steel-made structure. It is made of many steels. And then there are Activities that can be done in the Eiffel Tower, please check your textbook, grade 12. It is in Europe. The Eiffel Tower, in your slides, you will receive slides where you will be able to study why it is an icon, most recognized icon in the world, a symbol of Paris. Everyone who visits Paris wants to go there. We have this one again, the French Riviera. Why this French Riviera? But it talks about a spectacular coastline with many beaches, a wonderful climate, museum, and art galleries, and vineyard. Remember we were saying an icon can be a building, it can be natural, it can be man-made. This one, it is made up of spectacular coastline. It means when you visit Paris, when you want to see the warm beaches, you visit the French Riviera. This is the history behind the French Riviera. Water activities are done there. You can classify a French Riviera as our attraction. These are the windmills. You know the location. They are found in Netherlands. Algarve is found in Portugal. Why an icon? This is how you can read why an icon. There are so many, remember grade 12, I was saying we have so many icons, 41 of them. Please, you won't know an examiner where are they going to set. Make sure that you know each one of them. I know there are many grade 12, but please make yourself time every day, learn one. We've got this one, the Algarve. We've got the bullfight. Someone may ask why you talk about an icon, but you talk about a bullfight. It is located in Spain. It is an activity, a tradition in many cities whereby people, they are made to fight with bulls. Algarve of Segovia bullfight, associated with there are so many of them, grade 12. We go through them, each one of them. You've got the one in Africa, you've got the Wailing Wall. I talked about them in our first lesson. You remember the Dome of the Rock. And then grade 12, let me advise you. In most of the question papers, we're talking about the Dome of the Rock, we're talking about the blue mosques. But in our question papers, they won't be as colorful as you see them. But know them, how they are built, the shapes and everything. And then together, grade 12, when you are able to identify the country, associate it with the picture that you see. Look at Petra. Most of them, they are of ancient buildings. Petra, it is in Jordan. Check the map. We've got the Great Wall of China. Remember, I talked about the Great Wall of China. Also, the Great Wall of China has got the history behind. Check the stats, 4 million per year. And what type of tourists? The cultural tourists, the leisure tourists, and people interested in the architecture. Most of the tourists, they visit to learn about what they see or what they have seen in the pictures. Again, we have the Taj Mahal. It is in India. It is located in Agra. This is how you know. It is in India. It is in Agra. And then what is the picture? It shows the Taj Mahal. This is how every time when you learn the country, learn the location, if it is in a city, and then also the name of that icon. Why the icon? This is why it was made. A marble building decorated with precious stone by Emperor Shah. why he built this. This is the history behind the Taj Mahal. And then we've got the Blue Mosque. It is in Turkey. This is the history behind the Blue Mosque. And then this Blue Mosque, it was because of the marbles that is made to do this mosque. They are blue marbles and everything. That is why it was named the Blue Mosque. And it is in Istanbul, in Turkey. The Mount Fuji, know where Mount Fuji is, know the activities that you can engage yourself in when you visit the Mount Fuji. It is in Tokyo, Japan. This is our map. And then we've got Mount Everest. Mount Fuji, we've got the Mount Everest. This is the tallest mountain in the world. And then the summit is the longest and most of the challenging climb in the Himalayas. So those who love to do mountain climbing, they will go to this Mount Everest and then they summit up there. This is Mount Everest. And then it is found in Nepal. This is Mecca. Religious purposes, it is found in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. The history behind the Mecca, it is talking about, it is the center of the Islamic world and the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. It is religious purpose icon. These are activities that we made for you, grade 12, in order for you to revise when you do the icons. You will see how they are made. We will have an icon and then we will have a name to fill in according to the place, according to the location of that icon. We've got our floating market. It is situated in Bangkok. Our floating market is where you are able to experience trading in water. You are able to experience buying of local craft using a type of a transport, water transport. So a floating market, it is found in Bangkok, Thailand. You see how beautiful our market is? And what is an icon? Goods and food are sold from boats floating on river or canal. And they are symbolic of the Thailand. Not in every world you will see people trading inside the water, only in Thailand. We've got so many, we've got the Red Square. With the Red Square, grade 12, the Red Square has got many dimensions. But please check in which side you see the red square. And the red square you simply can identify from the red color. The Kremlin, check the Kremlin, how it is built, why it is an icon. And then at the end of this lesson, this is how you must summarize what you see and what you have learned. You must be able to explain icons using picture. Under specific heading, remember I said you can be given a table whereby you are needed to do an icon with a picture, the location, and then why it was identified as an icon. You can use any of the icons that you have studied, but what I'm going to ask you to do is to take each icon from each country so that you don't concentrate in one country. At the end of the day, you will be able to cover the entire 7 continents of the world using the very same template. The icon, the name of the icon, and then the why it was regarded as an icon. These are some examples that I gave to you from the first lesson, grade 12. Make sure that you study Every continent with its own. I gave you an example of South America. What do you find in South America? And then with this icon grade 12, it covers the entire part of the question paper. Some of the pictures you can find them in section A. Some they can be given to you in a form of a map, identifying. Some they can give you in a form of a table matching. So grade 12 with the icons, knowing the picture, associating with the country, you cannot go wrong. I know this is a difficult time for you. You are at home. The teacher's not in front of you, but being calm, be able to study every day grade 12. Together, we will pull through this hectic life. This 2020, it tests us as grade 12 that we can be able to study in isolation. You go back again, you check the information that you have studied. Everything it is in here to remind you on how to study the icons. You've got question papers. This is examination guideline. I talked about it in lesson number 1. It shows you on how you can answer the icons. What are the verbs that are used to ask you to distinguish? For example, they will say distinguish between attractions. We are going to be given a case study, for example, using the Ulurgaja. They will be talking about the people that are there and then how they were offended by some of us who visited the area. At the end of the day, you must be able to know what are they talking about. Sometimes we are given this, especially in section C, where tourism, attraction, culture and heritage tourism and marketing. You will be given a question as like this. So you study the icon below and answer the questions that follow, and then write only the question number and the answer. Look, you are given this picture, you are given this picture, you are given this picture. They say you study it. You are given this one, this one, this one. They say you study it. After studying it, there will be questions that follows this. They will be saying, identify this type of a picture. For example, let me go back. They will say, number them according to A, B, C until the last one. The Eiffel Tower. What is this? The Disneyland. Number C. What is it? The New Opera House. And then be able to know, is it an icon or is it an attraction? This one, you must know that it's the same as when you visit our own Gold Rush City, because there are many Disneylands in the world. It is not specific to a specific country. This is how you are going to find your questions. And then you can find also, they say, name the icon that is official residence of the President of Russia. Name the city where icon C is located. Remember, we've got these icons in your question paper that you are going to be related to. These are the questions, but please, grade 12, with tourism, with questions, with topics, please do not sleep on your question papers, because every question, every topic can be questioned in any form. So do not sleep in this, because another question paper cannot be having the very same type of a question. As long as if you know all your icons, you will be able to answer everything that you see. Just check. Petra is referred to as the lost city. You read the information that the question will follow then, according to what you see. You remember I was talking about some of the icons that are showing in our movie. One of you know what is this. So it is related to Petra. So you cannot talk about the Transformers and stuff, but we are talking about Petra as an icon, but it is related to one of what we saw on our TV sets. This is what you can see. This is the stats. Entrance ticket, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and everything. Entrance fee for visitors staying for at least 1 night. These are the stats that we can ask surrounding the visit to an icon. Another question, name the country where the icon Petra is located. These are the questions that you can be asked. One trend regarding the visitor numbers to Petra, it talks about this. Know how to interpret data that you see in terms of the icon. It means not an icon can be only asked using a picture. We also uses the stats to interpret the icon. These are the things. One positive impact of Petra being a popular place for filming. Remember, we're talking about the economy of the country that is going to grow. One threat to a Petra. You remember we're talking about the negative impact when we visit an icon with large numbers. Two ways in which the threat identified about is dealt with by the authorities in the country. It's where UNESCO comes in and then it advises the authority. This is how is going to be asked as an example. Not necessarily every paper will have this, but these are some of the questions that is asked related to the icons. I have come to the end of my lesson, grade 12. I still say together we can make it, through thick and thin, through hardship that we are facing. Thank you very much and all the best with your studies. From me, Megin Watu, I say all the best.